Hey guys, what's up, RedExions here and welcome back to this brand new video. And today I felt like doing another AC and chill video, and that is the perfect opportunity to test out some new mods that I have missed out on. Now, if you have not been a subscriber for very long, then you will not know what I have done before karting, and that actually was a lot of Assetto Corsa videos, mostly focused on F1. And every now and again I just like to hop back on Assetto Corsa and just do a chill video, which I talk to you guys about anything that's in my mind really. So, let's start out with the new F1 2022 mod for Assetto Corsa, which is the Formula Alpha mod by VRC. Also, we're testing out the brand new Spa 2022 track, which is also a mod. And as always, all of the mods I use will be in the description down below. So yeah, the first cool detail about this mod, take a look at the hands and how he puts on the headrest. That's cool, right? I've never seen that in an Assetto Corsa mod. Okay, let's go. Apparently this mod is supposed to have porpoising as well. I've actually not driven it yet, only started up to see if it worked, because this mod was an absolute pain in the ass to get working. But thankfully, due to one of my Discord mods, Alex, I managed to get it working. Big shout out to you. Speaking of Discord, you should totally join. In there we have karting drivers, AC fans, F1 fans, everything. Let's break before last source. Oh, this thing is really a lot heavier than the previous year, I can already tell. But yeah, join the Discord server, it's a nice and close community. We have like 750 members now. Definitely worth joining. Okay, getting up to some speed now. Let's see if we get some actual porpoising. Here we see the new Eau Rouge. We are bottoming out a little bit. No porpoising so far, that's interesting. I thought I saw videos on YouTube where this thing was porpoising like crazy. Let's brake for Le Combe. Okay, so I'm taking it a little bit easy right now, and I can definitely feel that this car is a lot heavier than last year's car. And also, there seems to be a lot less traction, but that's I think because this thing has a lot smaller rear tires. Let's look. Oh, that's actually not that bad. I thought these things had slimmer tires as well, but that's not the case apparently. Going past the karting track now, let's see if they've actually changed the building. They have not. So this mod is actually quite cool, the Spa 2022, but they have actually not changed the karting track building, which is a shame. Oh, now I get some porpoising. Yeah, I feel it in the force feedback too. I remember the cars being crazy fast in a straight line before the regulation change of 2017. So the 14, 15, 16 cars, I think those are the fastest cars in a straight line that F1 has ever had. Not too sure how they compare to a V10 car though, because those things were pretty crazy as well. Oh! You know, I think this perfectly demonstrates why I hate the F1 games. Well, not hate, why I just don't like the handling models. Like, in that specific case, I hit the curb and the car just instantly snapped. Like, there's no chance of catching it whatsoever. But in the F1 games, if you touch a curb like that, it kind of feels like the car just slowly turns around. It's not like that snappy feeling that this car should have, in my opinion. Even more so because this thing has a lot of ground effect, and I think F1 misses that. But this year's F1 game actually looks pretty promising. I've seen some gameplay footage in which the car actually looks a lot snappier than in previous years, and that's a big step in the right direction, I think. Oh, we got some heavy porpoising there. Alright, coming back to the bus stop, let's put the MGUK delivery on high, put the MGUH on motor, and let's turn the recovery down to 0% so we get the full braking power. And let's get the best possible exit, don't spin please. Oh no. Open the DRS and let's go. Let's see what kind of lap time we can do. Braking now for the source, maybe let's not run wide this time. Oh, a little bit, we missed the apex by like half a meter, that's not that bad. Already up by almost a second, that's really insane. Let's see if we can get a little bit of time on the braking here. Yes we can, but we run a little bit wide into the first one on Le Combe and also the second one. Going into the corner which I constantly mix up with Le Combe because they're similar corners, but I don't know what these are called. I think this one's called Stavlo, or it's the next one. Flat out to the right, going past the karting track. Actually the new gravel trap here, we've seen that in action quite a lot when I had my own karting race at Spa, because we used to see clouds of dust all the time at the track and hearing the tires squeeze. Oh, we get some heavy porpoising there, flat out through Blanchimont. We get some sparks as well. And brake for the bus stop is actually quite twitchy to get it right, because I usually get a very floaty rear end here, and we do that once again. We almost spin because I lit up the rears too much. Opening DRS, we do a 1 minute 47.2, and I think that's a pretty crappy lap time, but yeah, of course, it's the first time of me driving this mod. I like it, it's definitely a bit more challenging than the last generation of F1 cars. Is it worth the €5 that I pay for it? I think so. Let's try out a different car now. Alright guys, DTM time. And not those silly GT DTM cars that we have nowadays, but the real last DTM cars. These things were actually specifically built for DTM, and it may look like an Audi RS5, but really it's just an open wheel car with some sort of carbon fiber shell around it. And I've always had a soft spot for DTM, but that's maybe because my first sim racing game was DTM Race Driver 3, and I always just think that the racing in DTM is excellent. So let's go to this type of weather. I don't know what I clicked. Let's put the time at midnight. Turn on the headlights. Oh, this is cool, right? And braking for the first corner. I'm absolutely terrible with corner names around this track, but I do like to. Oh, look at the Ferris wheel in the distance there. That's cool, right? You gotta love Assetto Corsa and CSP. Like, these things are God's gift to the poor sim racer. Yeah, I really don't understand why they've gotten rid of these cars, because these things are so much more fun to drive than GT cars. Well, they're not much more fun, but they're so different. Like, this really was the king of touring cars back in the day, but now it's just another GT championship, and I really find that a shame, because these things are not only impressive when you're driving them, but also from a technical standpoint. And let's change the time to a little bit later, because it's still not completely dark. Let's add some time. Yeah, there we go, midnight. It's like the 24 hours of DTM at the Nordschleife. Brake. Oh, this thing actually has quite decent brakes as well. And I'll probably say this a lot, but this thing is really similar to an F3 car. And this car is actually struggling quite a bit with getting up the hill. Oh, nearly crashed it there. Is this corner flat? Yes, it is. Let's switch down one gear because the engine is having a little bit of trouble. Now we're getting into a little bit more of a crowded section. As you can see, there's some lights here. And brake. See how early we can get on the power with this thing. I'm kind of stabbing at the throttle to see how much power we have. And brake for the carousel. Let's see if we can keep it on the inside. Oh, this thing just sticks. Look at that. Look at how much grip it has. Oh, we nearly get thrown out of the exit there, but in the mid corner we had so much grip going through the banking there. Yeah, I miss these DTM cars, man. These were so much better than the ones we have now. This is of course a part that's most famous for the YouTube crashes. I'll actually going through the chicane now. Oh, that was satisfying. Oh, a bit too much curb, and we crashed it. Speaking of YouTube corner, it's coming up now. I believe YouTube corner is the right-hander which is up ahead right now. Yes, this is definitely a YouTube corner. I think it's not officially called that, but that's just what people have called it because yeah, there's like these channels who always film in that corner because there's always crashes there. Let's see what kind of top speed we can get. It should be able to reach 292, but that's just in theory. That's you know what the top. That's what the gear ratio setup said. But I think we'll get up to like 270 something. Stuck on 269, 268. Okay, 269 then. Nice. Going on to the final few corners now. Brake. That's a bit on the cautious and early side, but hey, at least we didn't bend it in the wall there. Brake for the last corner. Full on the throttle. Oh, we nearly spin it, and we spun. And like the Formula Alpha mod, this one's linked in the description as well, and I also linked the skins in there that I used if I could find them. If I cannot find them, they won't be there. Alright guys, welcome to the F1 2013 car by RSS. I think it's called like Formula RSS 2013 V8 or something. But yeah, this thing is based on mainly on the Red Bull from 2013, which was like the most OP F1 car ever. And I think this generation of F1 cars has aged beautifully. Like it still had the blown diffuser. These cars were super lightweight. They had quite a lot of downforce compared to their weight. So compared to like, even compared to 2021 or 2020 cars, these things feel like they're absolutely on rails. Like in high speed you can just throw it into the corner and it will just stick. These things are amazing. Alright guys, let's go. Now if you're an F1 veteran, then you'll immediately recognize this track because this is the Bud International Circuit in India. And this is actually the track where this car won its 4th Drivers and Constructors Championship. Let's open the DRS. And actually it's a real big shame that they got rid of this track because not only is it good for racing, but also just the layout of this track is extremely fun. Listen to that V8, man. I really miss this sound, but we run wide a little bit. Luckily we don't spin. But yeah, listen to this thing, man. It just sounds so amazing. We do have a little bit of understeer though, but I'll shut up. Listen to this thing. This thing just sounds amazing, man. And this is the era of F1 with which I grew up, as we almost also back end there. I actually started watching F1 in 2010, so at the beginning of the the Seb Vettel era. And well, these are the cars that made me feel nostalgic. And when I think of F1, this is what I think about. And also, guys, this track, just look at it. It's so much fun. Like this corner, also, it's like a really long corner, but it has 2 apexes. Here's the second one. And you can get a real slingshot feeling out of this. Here's another really fast chicane with a flowing first one, but then a angular second corner, which often gives you oversteer. Here we have an off-camber corner, which also goes down. for which you have to brake actually quite hard. Now going up to the last corner, we run a little bit wide, but that's okay. And also I like how it says Hungry Heidi there on the next to the dash. I think that's an Easter egg by RSS. I don't know if it's actually part of this skin, because if you guys didn't know, Vettel actually gives nicknames to his car, which all are like kind of kinky names, which are based on girls. Actually, when he was racing for Ferrari, he just gave them regular Italian girl names. But like, I know there's Kinky Kylie, Kate's dirty sister and all that stuff. And that's what Sepp Vettel called his cars. That's not what you expect from him right now, right? Oh, that was a really nice corner. Let's switch to another camera angle so you can actually see what's happening. Oh, we run wide just a little bit. Actually, this thing has a little bit of understeer at high speeds now, I notice. Let's try a different camera angle because I don't really like this one. The TV angle, there we go. This is the TV pod angle with which you grew up. No halo, slightly offset from the middle, perfect. Coming out to the technical section, let's see if we can push it a bit more this time. Almost lost the back end there, we definitely lost a lot of time. That was a whole lot better though. Use a little bit of KERS because these things, they don't have ERS but they have KERS, K-E-R-S. Which, well, it's basically the same but a lot less powerful. And you have to manually press a button each time. I remember that back when it was introduced in like 2009 or something, not every team had it, so you basically had a big advantage when you were able to afford running KERS. Anyways, let's actually push a little bit for a lap. And we completely ruined it in the first corner. Yeah, even though these things were on rails and super light, they only had like 750 brake horsepower, so the top speeds are relatively low compared to other eras of F1. But still, these things are so much fun to drive. That corner is, well, it's dangerous, man. Just don't clip that inside curb and you'll be fine. And as you can see, guys, I'm not a perfect driver. I spin like 10,000 times when I play Assetto Corsa. And hey, that concludes a very messy lap in which we completely cooked our tires. Speaking of cooking tires, let's try some drifting. As you may or may not know, Assetto Corsa literally is the best sim for drifting, and I've actually picked it up a little bit back in my PS4 days. I remember that there were like huge drift lobbies which always were filled to the brim. So yeah, let's see if I've still got it, because I used to be able to drift a little bit. There's like a special course that is laid out here which I always used to take, and I could do it a little bit, but I don't know anymore. Let's see. I accidentally remapped my handbrake button to a very annoying location. I remapped it to the cross button, which is annoying. Let's go to third gear. Like these pendulum swings I never could do, but switch down to second gear. But when we actually got to corners, I was able to drift. There we go, I still got it. They might not be the most pretty drifts ever, but hey, they're working. Let's flick the car around. No, I messed up. But yeah, drifting in a straight line, like these pendulum things that I'm trying to do right now, I always fail that because I just can't do those for some reason. But when we're in corners, I'm doing fine. As you can see, flick the car around. Yeah, there we go. Let's try to do one perfectly now. No, 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 no. A little bit too much speed there. Don't lose the back end. Switch down to second gear. Handbrake. Yeah, there we go. Look at this. All on power, no handbrake there. And also, a thing that's really interesting, this car is actually the most easy one to drift. Because yeah, you can just floor the throttle and just put full lock on there and this thing just sticks. But yeah, what's funny as well, this is actually the only little course that I just did that I can actually drift in. If I try to take anything else, I just fail horribly. Okay, now my tires are actually up to temperature a little bit. Oh no, that's way too fast. Yeah, we spin maybe a little bit. Oh no, we actually got it. Let's do a little donut here. Which is also completely botched, but that's okay. Let's continue on. No! Oh man, drifting. It's fun, but I also get bored of it kind of quickly. Like when I do that course a couple of times, I usually get bored and I just go back to circuit driving. Anyways guys, with that also comes the end of this video. Now if you enjoyed that, then I would appreciate it enormously if you would consider hitting those like and subscribe buttons. It really helps me if you do that. If this is the first video you've watched of me and think like, oh, this guy's a nice AC player, well, my main content is actually karting, and an example of that can be found on the screen right now. This video however is done, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.